To make a pom-pom, first cut about a 4 arms length of yarn. Yeah, let's do a little bit longer than that. Set this aside, you're going to use it later. Then grab the rest of the yarn, turn your yarn hand to face you, and then drape this yarn in front of your palm and hold on to it with your thumb and your ring finger. And we're going to wrap this yarn at least 15 times around our index and middle finger. So this counts as one wrap when you intersect again. You don't have to be super exact with this. If you ever lose count, always doing more is better. That way there is a higher chance that your pom-pom is nice and floofy. For example, I'm pretty sure I've done over 15 turns now. So let's say I'm good to go. So now I'm going to hold on to all these rounds that are looped around my fingers, and I'm gonna cut the yarn about an inch away from there, holding tight onto everything. Now I'm gonna take that piece of yarn I set aside before, and I'm going to tie one end of it around the middle of this wad of yarn on my fingers. So to do that, I'm gonna be real careful. I'm gonna slide the yarn off of my fingers, hold on tight to try to keep it vaguely like a wad of yarn. Then I'm going to take that piece of yarn I set off to the side, wrap it around the middle, put this wad of yarn on a surface to make things easier, tie it, okay. And don't worry if you lost it a little bit like I did. When you tie this yarn tight, it's gonna come back together. Woohoo! Nice. Alright. I like to double knot it to be safe. So I'm gonna take the two ends of that other piece of yarn, make another knot again, tie it super tight. Okay. Now we are gonna take some scissors and we're going to cut open the loops of that wad of yarn that was on your fingers. Make sure that as you do the rest of this pom-pom, you do not accidentally A, cut your fingers, and B, whoa, that was a close one. I almost accidentally cut the yarn tail, that long yarn tail. We do not want to cut that. That is what we are going to use to attach this pom-pom to whatever it is we're going to attach later on. So I'm almost there. Great. And I think I've gotten all the loops open. Now to make this look more like an adorable pom-pom, we're now going to trim all the way around, constantly making circles in all directions because we want to make a 3D sphere and not just a one-dimensional circle. And remember, this is the point where you got to be real careful not to accidentally cut off the yarn tail that we're going to use to attach this pom-pom to something. Part of the art of making a pom-pom is knowing when to stop, because when you smush something around, you might realize, oh, it doesn't look like a sphere anymore, but then the moment you fix that and touch it again, it will not look like a sphere the moment you touch it again. So I'm going to say I'm pretty happy with how my pom-pom turned out. I like to rub it a bit, massage it a bit, to try to make that part where I tied it with this piece of yarn a little less obvious. And now we are ready to attach the pom-pom to something.